Hello everyone, my name is Fanchus and today I'm going to be talking about a long due subject. I meant to do this video a while back, but I put it down for some time. Maybe it's because it's a little bit uncomfortable for me, maybe because I love to procrastinate, but anyways, I'm going to be talking about 3 songs, or the 3 songs that have made me cry. So on my last video I asked a lot of internet strangers on Facebook which were the songs or the song that have made them cry, and I reacted to some of the songs because there were so many responses that I wasn't able to respond to them all or include them in the video, but I'm very grateful for them. And I found out that some of the reasons why some of these songs have made them cry might not be just the fact that the song is sad, but they might have come to this person's life when they triggered these emotions that made the crying come out. And it's interesting, I really like sad music myself, that melancholic and just bittersweet kind of music. Ever since I was a child, I remember whenever I listen to the radio or maybe riding on my parents' car, whenever they played music, I would prefer the sadder sounding songs rather than the happier songs. For example, I remember Chicago's If You Leave Me Now or Shade's Every Word, and a lot of James Taylor stuff on my dad's playlist, or rather like back when you will burn CDs. Those were like the songs I like the most, like the sadder sounding, bittersweet sounding songs. And so these days I really enjoy listening to sad music also. As you can see, I really like bands like Brand New, even if they are cancelled. Elliott Smith, Sufjan Stevens, Radiohead, Nick Drake. All of those are in my top artists of all time, and I just cannot deny that they are quite depressing. And I've been suffering with depression ever since I was 11 years old. Maybe I could talk about that further in another video, maybe it could be another topic, but there's something about sad music. It's just so recomforting and just makes me feel better. Even if I'm already sad, listening to sad music makes me feel like I can connect with another artist, or like know what they were going through and the suffering. For example, Elliott Smith, I knew he had quite a shitty life, and I can connect with that. I can feel his suffering in a way, feel that with him, and maybe that makes me feel empathy and better. Sure, maybe I just like feeling like shit. Anyways, without further ado, let me talk about the first song out of the 3 that have made me cry. And I just want to say something else. Maybe I will have cried to more songs, but somehow it's hard for me to cry sometimes. I feel like I bottle up a lot of emotion and just it's hard for me to let it out. It has to be like in special circumstances. Maybe it's the antidepressants, maybe it's something else, but I feel like I cry internally more than externally, if that even makes sense. Anyways, song number 1. I was 16 years old and this was the first time that a song made me cry, and it was Band of Horses, The General Specific, and it wasn't even the album version, it was a cover, which I can maybe show you if it's still up.
It means shit to me now. Plants and animals, we're on a bender when it's 80 degrees. The end of December, what's going on? Only for you and me.
Right now, when I listen to it, I cannot stop smiling because of her like energy and how jolly and how happy it sounds. And the lyrics, I don't think they're sad at all. But somehow, back when I was 16, I was feeling really down for some reason or another. And then when I listened to it, I was in my bedroom, and then actually, no, I was with my family. I was having lunch with them, sitting at the dinner table, and then out of the blue I started crying, and it was because I was remembering this song in my head and how bittersweet it is, and just goes to show that not every song has to have like sad lyrics. Yeah, that was the time that my mom said, she came to me when I was crying in my bed, and she said, "Hey, I think you need to go to therapy. This is not normal." And I kind of agree, I think. But it was this version of the song specifically, not the album version. I think that her vocal melodies and her harmonies are really moving, really beautiful, and as I can see here, she has actually grown quite a bit ever since I saw her. I believe that she is now full-on professional musician. Look how much she has changed. She doesn't even look like the same person. I'm proud of you. You go, girl. Julia Nunes. Go check out her music. Okay, I'm going to be talking about song number 2, but you have to promise me something, please, please. Do not make fun of me, please. Understand? And song number 2 comes from everyone's most beloved emo band of all time. Of course, it's My Chemical Romance. Is it not? Anyways, the song is called Cancer, and it has really strong emotional lyrics, obviously dealing with what the title of the song is referring to. It's obviously a really strong subject to sing about, and the way that the singer Gerard Way wrote the lyrics from a perspective of a dying patient is quite gut-wrenching. So back when I cried to this song, I was maybe 16 or 17 years old, I don't quite remember, but I was really into the Black Parade, which is the album where this song comes from, and I was looking up songs maybe on YouTube, and then I stumbled upon this fan creation, this fan video of a little child cutting her own hair to this song, only to be revealed at the end that her brother comes home, and then she gives all of the hair that she just cut to her brother, who is completely bald from the chemos, and it was really emotional. I mean, I know it looks super choppy and really low quality, but back then it hit the right spot, bro. Don't judge me! So this last song is called Epilogue, and it's by the indie rock band called the Antlers, and it comes from an album called Hospice. And the thing is that this album also has connections with cancer, but I think that it's all a metaphor, because what the album is really about is about an abusive relationship, because the album talks about a nurse that falls in love with a girl who has cancer and is dying in a hospice, and she ends up dying, and that alone is quite sad, but in reality it seems to be all an allegory or a metaphor to what an abusive relationship this was between she and him. Hospice tells the story of a relationship between a hospice worker and a female patient suffering from terminal bone cancer, their ensuring romance, and their slow downward spiral as a result of the woman's traumas, fears, and the disease as a metaphor for an abusive relationship. So let's just say that I went through an abusive relationship myself. I won't go into much details, but at the time when I listened to it, I had flashbacks, I had a lot of powerful emotions going through me, and so listening to that song specifically, which is the last song of the album, the girl comes to the nurse and she comes back to haunt him in his dreams, kind of like the memories and the traumas that you get after you get out of an abusive relationship, and that kind of struck a chord with me that really hurt inside. In this situation, I was really able to relate to the lyrics, and so yeah, a lot of time passed between the last song that made me cry until that one. Like I said, sometimes I feel like I'm very good at bottling up my emotions, and sometimes they just come out really in a really explosive manner. But it's just the way that I am. I kind of cry internally more than externally, if that's even a thing. I'm not sure if you guys believe in graphology, but there was a time that I was really into it, and so I went to see a graphologist, and that's exactly what he told me. He saw my handwriting, and he was able to tell me one of the main things that he told me. He said, well, you're kind of like a crybaby, but you cry internally. And I was like, fuck. He nailed it. I wish all of you going through tough times, especially after this whole 2020 fiasco, I wish you all a lot of strength. I'm sending you all a lot of love. Stay strong. Rock on.